Hello, this is my documentary about my culture, the culture of Sweden. Sweden is a Scandinavian country in Europe. It has a population of 9.7 million people, which is quite small compared to its size. The capital of Sweden is Stockholm, and it's near the center of the country. Sweden has a monarchy, and the current head of state is King Gustav XVI. Around 90% of the population speak English fluently, although the national language is Swedish. The national church is the Church of Sweden, which is Lutheran. Sweden is a very environmentally friendly country and is so good at recycling that it ran out of trash and had to import it from Norway in 2012.
What do you believe Swedish people value most?
I think structure and order and standing in lines and respecting the order of the line is something that Swedish people value.
What are your favorite traditions from Sweden?
I like Lucia before Christmas, that's nice. Midsummers can be nice as well, sometimes.
What is your favorite Swedish food?
I like fish. Salmon is very good. And some råraka is very good. Should I explain what råraka is? Råraka is like grated potatoes that you put in a frying pan and you fry it, sort of flatten it out, so it becomes like a pancake, and then you put sour cream and caviar on it. It's very good.
And what are your favorite places in Sweden?
The north is very beautiful, a lot of it. Dalarna, for instance, is not very far north, but Dalarna is very beautiful. Östersund, I've only been to once, but it's very beautiful there. They have some very nice high mountains.
And what do you like the most about living in Sweden?
I don't know, like my friends and my social life, I think, mostly.
And what do you miss about Sweden when you go to other countries?
The drinking water, I miss. And my friends, I guess. My family. And Marabou chocolate as well.
And
munchies.
and what are things you wish you could change about Sweden?
I wish I could change the fact that right now they are controlling people's ID on the border between Sweden and Denmark to stop refugees from coming. I wish I could change that.
Okay, thank you. So, what do you believe Swedish people value most?
I would say the line and the time. You have to respect the line and you have to respect the time. So always stand in line correctly and always come in time.
Okay. And what are your favorite traditions from Sweden?
Lucia, cozy tradition, and midsummer, always fun.
What is your favorite Swedish food?
Prinsesstårta.
And what are famous places in Sweden that you like the most?
So the Stockholm archipelago.
And what do you like the most about living in Sweden?
Good question. Of course, all my friends and family, but also like I really like Stockholm, the city I live in. It's really pretty, and also the Swedish nature.
Okay. And what do you miss about Sweden when you go to other countries?
The water and Marabou chocolate. and I kind of like that everyone comes and time, and the buses come when they are supposed to come, and yeah, I can miss that sometimes.
And what are things you wish you could change about Sweden?
Well, right now, the ID controls.
There are a lot of traditions in Sweden, but the ones that are most celebrated throughout the whole country are the Easter celebrations, Walpurgis, the National Day, Midsummer, the crayfish parties in the summer, December, and the Santa Lucia tradition. Easter is a tradition in Sweden that is celebrated like it is in most Western countries, except in Sweden. Little children dress up as little witches. This comes from the superstition that witches flew on broomsticks in Blåkulla mountain. On Easter Eve, it is the holiday's major feast day, and a lot of food is eaten. Walpurgis, or as the Swedish pronounce it, Valborg, is the night between the last day of April and the first day of May. People gather around a large bonfire to sing the winter away. This holiday welcomes spring. High school graduates are given a white student cap, which is supposed to be worn at the festivals over the next years. The Swedish National Day is on the 6th of June and is celebrated all over the nation as a bank holiday. The royal family usually arrange a performance in the Skansen Museum. Midsummer is one of Sweden's most famous traditions. It is celebrated on the weekend, closest to the 24th of June, and is usually celebrated for a full 24 hours as there is no darkness. Crayfish parties are celebrated in August, and it's when people go out crayfishing all day and then come home, cook the crayfish, and have a party. The most traditional Swedish foods are meatballs, kanelbullar, semla, pancakes, Swedish candy, crayfish, and blueberry pie, pepparkakor, and princess cake. Swedish meatballs are eaten as a normal food and are not traditional to a specific holiday or tradition. They are usually eaten with potatoes and gravy. Kanelbullar is enjoyed all year round and a lot of times at Christmas. Its primary ingredients and flavors are dough, sugar, and cinnamon. Semla is a kind of cake with whipped cream and marzipan that is eaten before fasting after carnival and then again after fasting during Easter. Pancakes are very traditional in Sweden but are also not specific to a holiday. They are enjoyed all over the country as a dessert or even a snack or sometimes even a breakfast food. Swedes are famous for their consumption of candy, which is a lot. Families usually eat candy only on Saturdays to try and restrict themselves from eating too much during the weekdays. As I previously mentioned, crayfish are enjoyed at crayfish parties in the summertime. Pepparkakor are eaten mostly during Christmas and are made with cinnamon, but they also taste quite a bit like gingerbread. Blueberries can be found all over Sweden as they grow naturally in the forests, which is why blueberry pie is such a famous traditional pie in Sweden, mostly during the summer. The most famous and internationally known places in Sweden are the Ice Hotel and Vasa Museum. Places in Sweden that are worth visiting if you go to Sweden at any point, but preferably in the summer, are Stockholm's Archipelago, Sigtuna, and the Abisko National Park. Another great place to visit is the north of Sweden, where if you're in luck, you'll watch the famous Nordic Northern Lights, but then you'll have to go in the winter time. The Ice Hotel is a hotel that is made completely out of ice. It's rebuilt every single year during November and December, and because of this, it's a completely different experience each time. From the Ice Hotel, visitors can see the Northern Lights, the Arctic trails, and safaris by dog sled. The Vasa Museum is found in Sweden's capital city, Stockholm, and it is Sweden's most famous and attractive museum. In 1628, the Vasa battleship sank on its maiden voyage. The ship was left under the water for more than 300 years until in 1961 it was recovered and salvaged, and now sits in the museum for visitors to have a look at. The archipelago in Stockholm has around 30,000 different islands. There are many tour boat guides, and if you're lucky enough to know how to drive a boat, then that's also an option to go and visit. Sigtuna is a very traditional small town in the south of Sweden. It was Sweden's first ever town and was founded in 980 AD. It's famous for its Viking ruins, and there are also medieval churches and buildings that date back hundreds of years. The Abisko National Park is known as the land of the midnight sun and 24-hour daylight for several weeks in the summer. It is around 77 square kilometers big and is known for its Nordic wildlife and untouched natural beauty. There are a lot of inventions and creations that come from Sweden that people don't know are Swedish. Some of these involve the following: The seatbelt, a seatbelt that was invented in 1959 by Niels Bohlins. The ultrasound that was invented in 1950 by Helmuth Hertz. Dynamite, which was invented by Alfred Nobel, who in 1866. The telephone handset, invented in 1885 by Lars Magnus Ericsson. The GPS, invented by Håkon Lans. The zipper, invented in 1913 by Gildian Sundback. The turbo engine for cars, invented in 1976 by Bernd Gadefeld at the Saab Car Company. Skype, which was invented in 2003 by Johannes Fries and Miklas Lindström. Spotify, which was invented in 2008 by Daniel Ek. The play Mamma Mia is based all on the songs from ABBA, which was a very famous Swedish band. The Nobel Prize, which was also invented by Alfred Nobel. Sweden is a very culturally open place and is constantly growing as a nation to accepting more ethnicities and cultures into its cold climate. But as its culture grows, it does not forget its traditions and history. Sweden is definitely a place worth visiting at least once in a lifetime for the experience.